Parabolus, you brought refreshments. We could always count on you.
Exhibits, Your Authority.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't think so. Seems like a long way to go to send out for snacks.
Listen to them.
Objection!
They're like little savory puffs of organic matter with rudimentary philosophical underpinnings.
You've really outdone yourself this time, Parabolus, and I thought those little things with the cool whip around the sides and the uranium in the middle were great. What were those called?
Mushrooms in a cloud?
Objection!
All right, Gingernich is right. Let's get on with it. Snacks later.
Thank you.
Parabolus, Gingernich was just giving us a look at Lynn, Raymond, Rusty, and Snuffy. Are you through with your presentation, Gingernich?
Almost. I want to go on record that I am personally horrified by the prospect of shutting down the Universe Generation Project. I don't need to tell you how important it is and blah blah blah.
Objection.
I'll sustain that. Gingernich, can you be more specific?
Well, my love of evolving universes is well known. The element of chaos we create out of the simple percolation of matter and energy has challenged the way we look at our omniety. But what has come out of the universes since then? A few aesthetically pleasing molecules, some very amusing theological constructs.
Cool Whip.
But these are divertissement and folderol. Certainly not a proper expenditure of this administration's continuitesimal empiricism. So while I believe the universes have served their purpose admirably, even I must regretfully conclude that there's simply no justification for maintaining them further. Besides, I need Parabolus for other projects right now, to help take up the slack for the cuts we've made in the ephemerally cosmic insurance corporation.
Divertissements and folderol? Is he actually talking like this?
He's not saying those words. He's not actually saying anything. But the way you're hearing it is the essence of what he's expressing.
Thank you, Gingernich. And now let's meet our other litigant. He's a lifelong immortal, he enjoys the outdoors, and his hobbies are gourmet cooking and creating the universe. Let's give a warm galactic overlord welcome to Parabolus!
Thank you, Your Authority. I'll attempt to make this as brief as possible. The charge has been leveled against continuation of the Universe Generation Project on the grounds that it no longer produces viable conceptual material. These entities are with me to help me prove otherwise. They are from Raymond, one of my more ambitious universes. This race interacts in ways which I believe are unique. For one thing, they have a concept called friendship, a rarefied condition in which two entities not only communicate, but receive a special enjoyment from the mere act of communication. They also share a trust that permits them to touch each other spiritually without hurting them, most of the time.
Interesting.
Is there any example or tangible manifestation of this bond we might see? What is this?
So the whistle impels this creature to join the other?
No, I don't answer it because I have to, or because I'm required to, but simply because I like to.
This is in no way unique. Certain entities, even in our realm, enjoy the presence of certain other entities.
Friendship may be a worthwhile concept, but hardly unique.
As I indicated, Your Authority.
Have they any other properties you would consider of infinitely redeeming value?
Most definitely. Is it not unique to find a race of creatures that work cooperatively in the spirit of altruism? That would risk their existence to save another race, even one with whom they cannot communicate or befriend, but simply because they feel their world is richer for the presence of this other race?
That's intriguing.
Have you brought any physical manifestations of this trait?
What is this?
An example, Your Authority. This was created by these two entities out of the spore of a third entity, with whom they can neither communicate nor befriend, but for whom they risk their lives to prevent its extinction.
Objection!
On what grounds?
What you hold in your hand gives sensory pleasure to these creatures at the expense of the creature they saved, thus rendering their act selfish, not altruistic. In fact, altruistic acts give these creatures spiritual pleasure. It feels good for them to commit what they laughingly refer to as altruistic acts. Therefore, the acts are hardly altruistic.
Always?
Often enough.
Mother Teresa, the shameless hedonist.
I'm afraid, Parabolus, that Gingrinich's point is well taken. Have you any more evidence of worthwhile singularities that might be grounds for maintaining the universe?
If it please the board, Parabolus is grasping at straws.
I have to agree.
One more item, Your Authority, and I believe I can satisfy your requirements.
Speak!
This race laughs.
Which is?
They go to great lengths, sometimes disgusting lengths, to invoke in each other a spontaneous, involuntary explosion of positively charged energy. They use it for everything. To heal, to calm, to amuse, to define, to form and reinforce spiritual bonds, to deflect pain.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Of course you don't. If you understood it, it wouldn't be necessary to preserve it and study it. And they're the only race in all the universes that generate it.
We are intrigued by this concept. For the current time, Gingrinich, we'd like for you and Parabolus to maintain the Universe Generation Project until we've had a chance to study it. Agreed?
Point of order!
Yes?
It has come to my attention that this concept, which we have identified as humor, is not unique to Parabolus's universe. In one of the smaller universes under my charge, there is a race called the Flutwig, who use this laughter for the same purposes.
There must be some mistake.
Since the Flutwig universe is much smaller and more economical, I contend that Parabolus's Raymond universe be terminated. Should the board wish to study humor in the future, the Flutwig will be available at a greatly reduced cost.
But I was positive. I was positive you were the only race that laughed.
Only one I know of.
It is true. The Flutwig are holders of humor. Gingrinich's suggestion is a wise one. The Raymond universe is hereby closed, and we will hand down decisions on Parabolus's other universes shortly.
Objection.
This meeting is adjourned.
The defendants are on their way out now. Mr. Stonebender, let me ask you something. How did you feel about the judge's decision to bring your world to an end?
Don't ask such stupid questions.
Yes, and I don't think he's used to feeling that way.
Where's Parabolus?
Excellent question.
And I don't like what I see in that shelf.
I'm going to open his briefcase.
Why not? He's stranded us here. We have to do something.
They don't have any. Zero humor.
Does anyone?
No, just us. We had 100% of the shares, and it's marked no sell.
So, Gingranich was lying. We have a quality none of the other universes has. Perhaps we should take this into the board and show them.
Maybe he didn't have to lie. Maybe his flunky went out during the trial and engaged in a little skullduggery.
He would have needed to log on as Parabolus and change the no cell to a cell.
And then log on as Gingranich and put in a buy.
So what's stopping us from doing the same right back?
We need their passwords. We've already got Parabolus's, and I bet we've got Gingranich's right here.
But then Gingranich could do it again. It could go back and forth like this forever.
There you go. The man has it pegged. Change Gingranich's to a cell, have Parabolus buy it all back, make sure to put a no cell on it, then change the password.
It just might work.
Welcome to Sim Universe. Please speak your password to enter.
Shot.
Greetings, Gingranich. How may I be of assistance?
Hello. What are my options?
You may conduct a new transaction, review prior transactions, perform a user maintenance function, or log off.
What are user maintenance functions?
Current user maintenance functions are check memory usage, check fragmentation, user help, or change password.
I'd like to conduct a new transaction.
Very well. Will this be a buy or a sell?
Sell.
And for what universe will this sell be?
The one with the Flutwig.
Very good, Gingranich. Which aspect of universe QD31416 would you like to sell?
Humor. Sell.
Processing request. Please hold. There is currently 1 share of aspect humor available for sale from the race Flutwig in universe QD31416. Would you like to sell 1 share of humor?
Yes.
Excellent. 1 moment, please. Thank you, Gingranich. Your sale is complete. Is there anything else I can do for you, Gingranich?
User maintenance functions for 400, Alex.
Certainly, Gingranich. Would you like a memory usage report, a fragmentation report, user help, or password change?
I'll change my password.
Please speak your new password.
Chocolate.
Please speak your new password again to verify.
Chocolate.
Is there anything else I can do for you, Gingranich?
I'll log off now, if it's all the same to you.
Thank you for using Sim Universe. Welcome to Sim...
Glinda.
Greetings, Parabolus. How may I be of assistance?
Hello. What are my options?
You may conduct a new...
What are user maintenance?
Current user...
I'd like to conduct a new transaction.
Very well, Parabolus. Will this be a buy or a sell?
Buy.
And for which universe will this purchase be?
What are the choices?
Parabolus, your universes are Raymond, Lynn, Rusty, and Snuffy. For which universe will this purchase be?
I'll buy something for Raymond.
Very good, Parabolus. For what aspect would you like to purchase shares?
Let's try humor.
Processing request. Please hold. There is currently 1 share of aspect humor available for purchase from the race Flutwig in universe QD31416. Would you like to purchase 1 share of humor?
Yes, please.
Excellent. 1 moment, please. Thank you, Parabolus. Your purchase is now complete. Shall I assign this aspect to a particular race?
Definitely. Please assign this aspect to the human race.
Processing attributed. Would you like to make another purchase at this time, Parabolus?
Forget it. I'm not in a buying mood.
Very well, Parabolus.
Make my...
Certainly,
I think I'd like...
Please speak.
Romania.
Please speak.
Romania.
New password. Is there anything...
I think I'll log off.
Thank you for using Sim Universe.
Check now. Check on the Flutwig. See who's laughing now.
One moment. Where's Parabolus?
I don't know. Gingranich.
Your authority. What's this about?
The tremendous act of generosity on your part, of course.
What act of generosity?
You have made Parabolus's universe, Raymond, the sole proprietor of humor.
When did I do that?
You had to know we would reinstate funding.
I did no such thing. You must have made a mistake.
Reconfirmed. Ditto. Don't say ditto. I hate that word.
No, wait. Wait just a minute. Get me a laptop.
I'm sorry, that's not available.
Budget cuts.
Haven't you heard?
Turn Raymond back on.
Done.
Damage report?
Well, all matter should have lost about a third of its density by now, but everything it's measured by will also have lost a third of its density, so they'll never know the difference.
But that's ridiculous. I used
You did. What?
Used Parabolus's password.
Is this true?
I'll take care of him.
What a shame.
Maybe some time spent in Parabolus's universe would be good for Gingranich.
Change his perspective.
Give him a sense of humor.
I hear they have humility there, too.
Ooh, humility.
You kidding? We got humility up the wazoo.
They're still here.
I'm sorry. Would you like to go home now?
Yes.
We suddenly found ourselves back in the bar, and as we blew through the universe, everyone crowded around the windows and tried to get a good view of the trip home. And we were glad to see that all the lights were back on and that home was just as we'd left it. Noah, Josie, Piotr, Ralph, Joe, Alfie, and I told the others about Raymond and Gingranich and Parabolus's little computer game. We didn't know what became of Parabolus. Some were understandably thinking we were pulling their legs. Some thought we were heroes, and some, naturally, made light of the situation.
Whoa, so the world ended for a while except in his bar. Does that mean we have to reset the clocks here or at home?
Here, have you been through this before?
I was pondering that very same question while we were waiting for you to get back from wherever it was you went.
Well, I'm not so pleased with the way everything turned out. Don't look at me like that. Those of us here would have been the last people on Earth. And provided they'd resettled us in another universe, we would have been the forebearers of the next human civilization. I can't think of a bunch more qualified. Besides, I would have been the mother of all humanity. Cool job title, you know. Would have made me a divine being.
You're good, but you're not divine.
God, is she always this power-hungry?
Oh yes, Athena liked this once before.
Well, you better count me out of this. I lost Minerva.
Juno, I figured you'd say that. Go on, Scram, you left Demeter running.
Oh, I can see one of those going over your head, but it's Artemis too.
Don't be surprised. I knew I'd hear a series of puns, if I acted like a little prima donna.
I'd like to exercise the option.
You've got the floor.
I'd like to beg my friend's forgiveness for not being there when I should have. I was so angry, and that was such a strange sensation. These bodies lead one to strange behavior. There's a constant surfeit of corporeal and spiritual noise.
That's exactly correct.
How do you creatures stay sane?
Maybe it's in the equation.
Right. I don't think there's a need for absolution here. Hate to say it, and I know you're a supreme being of some sort, but as far as being human goes, you were born yesterday. And for a human, I'm led to believe you did your best to do the right thing.
I just hope it's a long time before we come up for another budget review.
Not to worry. You've got some friends in high places. To new friends.
Well, a swell and wealthy relative of mine had up and died, and I received $100,000 from the will. So a friend and I decided to convert this into liquid form to better our esophagi to fill. So we started in the city, had a drink in every shitty little gin mill. That's really quite a few. And then a cabbie up in Harlem took us clear across the river into Brooklyn, where he joined us in a brew. Now we was weaving just a trifle by the time we hit Astoria at 80 miles an hour in reverse. But that was nothing to the weaving that we did as we was leaving, and from time to time it got a little worse. Well, there's nothing like drinking up a windfall, baby. We were drunker than a monkey with a skin full. So goddamn drunk it was sent for, and I believe I ain't sober yet. Well, as we crossed the city line, we was feeling mighty fine, sucking whiskey and whistling at the girls. The next saloon we tried, somebody wants to punch my eye. He objected to my long, shaggy curls. His fist come out of orbit, knocked me right across the bar, but I was pretty drunk, I didn't really care. In fact, I was a little disappointed when the coppers hit the joint, just as I was making my rebuttal with a chair. Ah, but the coppers come a cropper, cause I made it to the crapper and departed by a ventilator shaft. I met my buddies in the alley as they run out through the galley, and we just ran and ran and laughed and laughed and laughed. And there's nothing like drinking up a windfall, baby. We were drunker than a monkey with his skin full. So goddamn drunk it was sent for, and I think I ain't sober yet. Oh, pour me one in. And I think I ain't sober yet. Halfway out of Levittown, we got our second wind, and that dump so down and out it'd make you laugh. So I had another mug, my buddy had another jug, the cabbie had another pitcher and a half. We got to Suffolk County, we was going into overdrive. The word had spread, and crowds begun to form. Drank our way from Jericho along 110 to the Merrick Road, just a boozing and a singing up a storm. I lost my buddy and the cab driver in the Hamptons somewhere. We was all drunker than it's possible to be. There finally come a time I didn't have another dime. I sat on Montauk Point and wept into the sea. Well, there's nothing like drinking up a windfall, baby. We were drunker than a monkey with his skin full. So goddamn drunk it was sent for, and I think I ain't sober yet. Well, I ain't nothing like a drinking up a windfall, mama. We were drunker than a monkey with his skin full. So goddamn drunk it was sent for, and I think I ain't sober yet. Smooth. I want to tell you how I feel in love, but it will not come as news. I got no secrets to reveal, love, but I'm gonna say it anyway, 'cause I'm alone and you're away. I haven't got a blessed thing to lose. So here goes. Water ain't dry, sky goes up high, and a booger makes a mighty poor glue. You can't hurt cats, bacteria don't wear hats, and I love you. Sugar ain't sour, and it's damp in the shower. Hurt is not a nice thing to do. Trees got wood, making love is pretty good, and I love you. Well, I'll be laboring the obvious. By now you've noticed all those good times. This is as practical an exercise as taping 20 cents to my transmission so that anytime I want to, I can shift my paradigms. But God knows, goats don't vote, iron don't float, and a hippie don't turn down boo. Dog bites man, teacher don't understand that I love you. Sickness sucks, it's nice to have bucks. Player on first base is named who? Kids grow up, most fellas pee standing up. And I love you, I guess I didn't need to say it. It's just this message that my heart said. And I kinda like the way it's more redundant than was absolutely necessary according to the Department of Redundancy Department. Hero of unnecessary repetition and pointless redundancy. I must close. Fun is nice. You can't fry ice, and the money will always be due. Bullshit stinks, and no one outsits the Sphinx. And I love you. Well, living ain't bad. God knows dying is sad. Little we know is true. Oh, but that's just karma.